Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shaunneka and today I'll be guiding you through an after work yin yoga sequence. So this is going to be a nice way to ease into your hips. We're going to work a little bit into the upper back, shoulders, and just a little bit of work into the neck. So before we begin, if you are enjoying my classes, always remember to give it a thumbs up and to like and subscribe. It really does help with the longevity of my channel. It lets me know which classes you are enjoying, especially if you're leaving comments and just letting me know what it is that you want to see on my channel. So for today's class, you're going to need 2 blocks and we will go ahead and get started. So our first posture, we will be doing a heart opener. So grabbing your blocks, you're going to place the first block on its lowest height and the second block, second highest height. Sitting in front of the block, you want the bottom tips of the block at the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. And you will need to adjust and placing the block underneath your head. And you can bring your feet into butterfly. And just making space for the chin and the neck. Notice if you're dropping your chin towards your chest. Really make space, lifting the chin up towards the sky, broadening through the collarbones. Nice deep breaths here. Coming into our last few breaths here. Really trying to bring that breath right up into the rib cage. Take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Your feet were in butterfly. Extend them straight, rolling over onto one side. Removing the blocks from behind you. And just coming to lay all the way down onto your back. Just take a moment here before we continue. So from here, we'll make our way into our next posture. So bringing your feet back into those butterfly legs, butterfly position. You're going to keep the left knee where it is, and you're simply going to bend the right knee in towards the chest. And you can draw that left foot closer towards the groin if you'd like. You also have the option to place the block underneath that left knee for support. Getting a nice stretch, not only through the groin, but the top of the thigh, as well as the hip flexor. So the closer you have your left foot into your groin, maybe use your right hand to draw it in a little bit closer, the more intense the stretch will feel along the top of the left thigh. Every exhale, thinking about drawing the knee in closer towards the chest. Inhale, the knee moves away. And exhale to draw in. Last few breaths here. Last two breaths. Nice big inhale. And exhale, draw in. Inhale, knee moves away. And exhale, draw in. So we'll make our way into our next posture, which will be half happy baby. So if you have the block underneath your knee, you can leave it there. If you don't, simply shimmy your foot from out underneath you, away from your groin, and still have the knee dropping open to the left. Grab a hold of the outer edge of the right foot for half happy baby. The option is to place the other block underneath the right knee for support. So this is quite a bit of an intense pose. If you do feel like it requires a lot of work or a lot of effort, I would encourage you to use the block underneath the left knee and underneath the right thigh. Last few breaths here. Last two breaths, a nice big inhale. And side out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release the foot. Draw the left knee back up towards the ceiling. You're going to cross the right foot over the left knee. And you're just going to push away on that right thigh with your right hand, just gently for a moment. You might feel a nice cooling or pooling sensation on the left side and the lower back. So we'll work in stretching the outer glutes and the low back. So simply the shape that you've created here, you're going to tip it now over towards the left. You might need to scooch yourself so that you can drop that right foot all the way down towards the mat, making sure your right knee isn't coming with you. You're actively pushing that right knee away. You're grabbing onto the right foot with your left hand, gazing over the right shoulder. You can also place a block on your thigh and push your hand away to keep the knee pointing towards the ceiling. Last few breaths here. Last two breaths, nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently drawing your knees and the shape back up, uncross the ankle. Just take a moment here. Maybe you draw your knees in towards your chest. You may feel a lot more open on that right side. Maybe you gently drop both knees to the right. And gently drop both knees to the left. Drawing both knees back towards center. We will repeat that same sequence on the other side. So finding yourself back in that butterfly position. And you are going to bend the left knee in towards the chest this time. You can move that right foot closer towards the groin. If you're looking for a little bit more intensity through the top of the right thigh. Interlacing your hands around the left shin, inhaling here. And on the exhale, drawing the knee in towards the chest. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last two breaths. Nice big inhale, the knee moves away. And exhale to draw in. One more inhale. And exhale. So moving into our next posture, which is half happy baby. So the right foot that's close towards your groin, you're just going to shimmy it from out underneath you, but just only so much that it's still dropping open towards the right. Bringing the block on the left side if you had it on the other side. Bend the left knee, grab a hold of the outer edge of the left foot, and you can stay like this. And if you use the block on the other side, just kind of wedge it underneath the thigh for support. Makes the pose that much more enjoyable. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. And exhale, release. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release the grip on that left foot. Draw the right knee back up towards the ceiling and just cross the left ankle over the right kneecap. Just hang out here for a moment. Just gently sway from side to side if that feels good. And we will go ahead now and just balance everything out. So keeping the shape you've created, you are simply going to tip it over towards the right so that the sole of the left foot plants firmly on the mat. You have the option, if you did it on the other side, to take your block and use it to push that knee so that it's facing towards or pointing towards the ceiling, or grabbing a hold of the left ankle with the right hand, gazing over the left shoulder. Last few breaths here. Last 2 breaths, a nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release the grip of the left ankle. Drop both knees back in and up. Readjust the hips. Uncross the ankle. Draw both knees in towards your chest. And just gently rock from side to side. Maybe you drop both knees to the left this time for a brief moment. And dropping both knees to the right. Back through center. Keeping the knees bent. We'll work into a little bit of the shoulders and the neck. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to cup it onto your left shoulder. You're then going to roll to the right side. You're going to take your hand, palm is facing up, and you're going to place your palm onto your upper back so that when you roll back down, your hand is pressing into the mat. And then you can remove the right hand. So it's up to you. You can keep your knees bent or you can straighten them. It's up to you. I like to keep my knees bent. So you can stay here if this is enough. If you're looking for a little bit more, you're simply going to look over your right shoulder and draw your left shoulder down and away. Few more breaths here. Last 2 breaths on this side. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently bring the gaze back towards the ceiling. You want to take that right hand, cup it onto your left shoulder, roll over onto your right side, Remove your left hand from out underneath you. Extend it down beside you. And just take a moment here. We'll do the same thing now on the other side. So taking your left hand and cupping it onto your right shoulder. Roll towards your left. Take your right hand up so that the back of the hand comes to your upper back. Place your hand where it is most comfortable for you, and then roll back onto your back so the top of your hand is pressing into the mat. Remove your left hand from the shoulder. Staying here. Or if you'd like a little bit more, looking over your left shoulder and drawing your right shoulder down and away. Last few breaths here. Last two breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Once again, take your left hand and cup the right shoulder. Roll towards the left side and gently unravel your right hand from underneath you and set yourself back down. Just take a brief moment. So we'll be making our way into our final pose. So coming on up, you're going to grab your blocks, your two blocks. Place one block on its lowest height, and the second block you're going to place on a diagonal. And I would suggest you use a soft block, or if you have a harder block, maybe putting a towel or something soft on the top, so that when we come down, the base of your neck is going to lay across the edge of the block. So finding that spot for you, and you just melt here. Just allow the weight of your skull to drop into the block. You can keep the knees bent or extend the legs straight. You can nod your head yes, no, from side to side. Just taking a few moments here. Maybe you find that sweet spot and keep your head in that position, enjoying the gentle pressure. This is also a really nice way to alleviate headaches. So you can stay here with your head rested on the blocks. And when you're ready, you can come out. Making your way to Shavasana only when you're ready. So feeling free to stay here for as long as you'd like. I hope you enjoyed today's practice, and I will see you back here again soon. Have a wonderful day.